I'm really, really excited to introduce you to Hadley. Unlike most hairdressers I know that are men, they have no hair, and he hasn't, obviously.
Always the way.
And we're here because I want Hadley to share with us how to hack fuller hair. Now, most people that I know who follow me, and certainly me, just want more hair. I want to have better hair. I want it to be thicker. I want it to be less flat and flimsy. I want it to stop shedding, and I just want it to feel like hair again. And that's what we're going to talk about with Hadley today, how you can really hack fuller hair, the styling things you can do, the products you can do, and a little technique that he does using hair extensions called hair filler. Hadley, tell us a little bit about yourself and who you look after, or the celebrities that you're allowed to mention so we can get excited.
Cool. So I am a hair extensionist. I'm also a salon owner in central London. I opened my salon 2.5 years ago. Before that, I worked in Harvey Nichols to Daniel Hirschson's and kind of built up the hair extension business. After I left the salon, I went like freelance. I was kind of going to people's houses, doing shoots, a kind of a mix of both, which was really fun. And it got to a point where like my clients were like, I need a color. I can do it, but I'm not good. And then it was
Not
kind
your
of,
thing.
it's just not my thing. I can do a root tint, that's about it. And then it was traveling from like
I can do a
east,
bloody root tint.
but I was going like east, west, north, all over. Add all that time up and you're like 5 hours just around. And I was thinking that 5 hours, I could fit in X amount of clients, which would then pay rent for a salon. Then it was needing the team and you need an assistant. And then I thought, you know what? Just take that risk and do it. And I love it. I do not regret it. And I love it. And it's the best thing I've ever done.
It is such a fun palace as well. Like if you get the chance to go and if you're just looking for a salon in central London where you're made to feel welcome,
Yeah.
that you don't walk into Hadley's salon. It's down a little side street in Covent Garden. I know lots of people do feel quite intimidated walking into hairdressers. I definitely do. But your place is just so warm and everyone's so friendly and nice. And they just make you feel like you are really welcome. And I think that's such a big, when you're sitting somewhere for a couple of hours getting your hair done and you're spending, a decent amount of money, you want to feel like people want you there.
I kind of just picked all my best mates and bunged them in a salon. So it's just always a good vibe. It's never bitchy, it's just really fun.
Let's start with some of the basics. So if a woman like me is coming in and she's menopausal, or perhaps it's a younger woman and she's got anxiety or stress because she's doing her exams, or she's really busy at work, or she's got a little bit of imposter syndrome and her hair's starting to shed. There are so many women, particularly that I hear from, who are having lots of hair issues for loads of different reasons. And you were so right when you said earlier that you don't want to feel judged, because you do feel judged, and mostly because you judge yourself. Right.
Yeah.
And your hair really is like, I know it sounds really naff, your crowning glory, but it's so visible. It's like 80% of your selfie, or whatever people say. So when it starts to sort of go and deplete, and for whatever reason, it really hits you emotionally. So, and you always make people feel so looked after. So I've got fine shedding hair. What are the very basics that you can do to sheet your hair into looking a bit and feeling a bit fuller?
I think it's really, really important that we start off talking about kind of what we're doing aftercare wise with our hair. So shampoos, treatments, conditioners, all of them things I would say is where we start. I think, shampoos and conditioners and treatments have come on hugely in the last 5 years. I mean, a lot of products now, you can buy from Salon or even in, Boots, Superdrug, a lot of products are containing bonders in.
What's bonders?
Bonders. So bonders are basically like amino acids, and it basically corrects the inside of your hair. So, when we're bleaching, tonging, any kind of damage we're doing to our hair, we're basically breaking down the disulfate bonds. And basically what these products are doing is putting them all back in with like amino acids, plumping them all back up again and putting them back to where they should be.
So they're like feeding the hair from the inside with
Yeah,
amino acids, like protein.
It's kind of skincare and hair care. They're kind of starting to kind of come together, and it's really important that we're doing these, having bonding things, using sulfate free, because that is what's going to, clean our hair, get our hair prepped for everything else we want to do.
Got it. Okay. And that's quite interesting, because like my kids who believe everything they hear on TikTok will say to me, you can't use this shampoo, and you need to give your hair a break from shampoos, and you shouldn't wash your hair all the time and every day. And that's such an urban myth, because when I was a kid, we were washing our hair with things like Vosine. Right?
What's
Have you not heard of Vosine?
No, what is it?
I hate you. I'm going to switch you off. It's
Done.
like it's a shampoo. It looks just like Fairy Liquid. When I was younger, like you couldn't wash your hair all the time because these shampoos were so abrasive and they
Yeah.
were so hard, right? Harsh, and they would strip your hair of all of its moisture and they would strip the scalp. So you didn't wash them all the time. They would also keep your hair clean for days because
Yeah.
you've basically just scrubbed off every inch
There's
of
nothing
moisture
left.
and oil. There's nothing left, yeah. But so what kind of shampoos then would you recommend? So if someone's hair is shedding or they're menopausal or post-baby, the hair tends to be quite fragile
Yeah.
as well as being fine.
We don't want to use something too heavy
Mm-hmm.
because that's just going to weigh the hair down. But, you know, brands that I can recommend, like Redken, they have an amazing range called ABC and ACG. ABC, it focuses
Writing this
on
down.
deep hydration, repairing the damaged hair from within. And it's kind of powered with citric acid, bonding complex. That's going to repair the hair inside. And it's also not too heavy.
Yeah,
Then they've got their
got it.
ACG, which is exactly the same, but it contains a gloss inside it. So you can have amazingly healthy hair, which also looks really glossy and shiny. So that's two kind of in the salon. I'll say there are two big sellers because they kind of cover you.
Really?
Yeah, because they kind of cover color, they kind of cover heat damage, and they also work well with extensions. So they kind of just work perfect for us.
So are they sulfate free?
Yeah, they're all sulfate free as well. Also, as well,
And what, go on.
what I do recommend as well is once a month using like a really good detox shampoo.
Really, what does that do?
So the detox obviously going to clean, you know, obviously when we're using a lot of products and stuff on our hair, you know, it can build up on our hair. So it's nice to have something kind of just to really clean that off. K18 do an amazing one, which is called Detox Shampoo. It's charcoal based. So obviously it's all natural and then the charcoal kind of removes any impurities from the hair.
I mean, that's amazing. And actually, it's not just product that builds up, is it? It's like if you're going
Everything.
outside and there's pollution outside, you're going somewhere that there's wind and it's blowing dirt around, or, you're having work done in your house like I am. I know that this stuff is sticking to my hair and
Yeah.
sticking to my scalp. And if you wouldn't go a day without washing your face.
Yeah.
So actually, and the skin on your scalp is just the same as the skin on your face. It's just got hair coming out of it. So do you think that if you have to give your scalp a real good going over as well?
Yeah, definitely your scalp and your hair. I mean, even like Georgina, who does your color for you, me and George, you know, clients come in with white blonde hair, you know, colored, and after a couple of weeks, it can go a bit yellow, and that's living in London and pollution and smoke and all of them things contribute to, you know, and using that detox shampoo can just take that layer off. And, you know, before you know it, you're back to clean hair again.
So good. And it won't strip the hair or leave it feeling like straw or I guess it's K18, it won't, right?
Yeah, so obviously K18 are all about, you know, like condition and quality of your hair, everything.
You must have heard of Vosine. I
I've
can't
never heard
believe
of
that.
it.
Oh my God, the absolute depression. Okay, so bonding repair shampoos, conditioners, not using stuff that's too heavy for the hair that's going to weigh it down, and then giving your hair a detox every now and again. And I really think that giving your hair a really good scalp massage every time you wash it and washing your hair properly. And one thing I think it's really important for people to know, and this is just because of my hair loss issue, is that not washing your hair is not going to stop it from shedding. People think that if their hair's shedding, they should wash it less because then it will shed less. It won't. It will shed exactly the
Yeah,
same.
exactly same, but all in one big go, it will come out.
Exactly. And that will make you feel even worse. And actually, you need to really give your scalp a good sort of, not a vigorous scrub, but get the blood circulation going and all that kind of stuff.
I mean, things like that is what kind of promotes hair growth.
Yeah, exactly.
Getting the blood to one thing that I think is incredible though, and more brands are starting to do it, is the Dermarollers.
For the scalp.
Yeah. These are amazing. We have a brand in Salon, and we actually have an in-salon treatment. It's kind of in collaboration with Actinaca. Have you heard of them?
No.
They are amazing, and they're all about scalp health, sorry. It's incredible. So what we do is you know, like with your skin, you just lightly go over.
Creates a very small sort of incision. And I say incision, it's like almost like when you prick yourself with a needle if you're sewing something, right? A very fine needle. Tiny. And what that does is it just sends the skin into repair mode, and it starts to sort of send all the blood and all, like, I don't know, the messaging all to the scalp saying repair, repair,
Yeah. It
repair.
kind of brings all the
But then that's
collagens
what
up
you
and
can use on
everything.
the scalp. It stimulates collagen, stimulates elastin. It will obviously stimulate microcirculation, which is good for hair regrowth.
Yeah.
That's so good, and it doesn't hurt at all.
No, you can barely even feel it. But just, I mean, a lot of clients, we just, even before their extension treatment, will kind of say, if you know, because obviously this is kind of the first place where you start to notice thinning. Well, that's where I did. And as soon as you start
Yeah,
going over them bits, you are stimulating that hair to regrow. And obviously you
yeah.
need to, if you really want to go for it, you need to, you know, add serums and minoxidil, things like that.
Yeah, and what it also does, what the Dermaroller will do, and I know it because of skin, although I've never heard of it for hair before, but it makes complete sense because of what I was saying earlier. The skin on your head is like the same as the skin on your face. She's got hair growing out of it. But what it does is it makes when you put creams or anything on top, like serums, it makes them penetrate better and it
Yeah.
makes them more effective. So sorry, my dog's just being very needy. Come here. And so it will actually make those products work better.
Yeah.
Okay, what about styling? What sort of styling? So care, we've got sorted. If your hair's sort of fine, thinning, shedding, or whatever, what sort of styling things can you use or techniques can you do to sort of cheat a fuller hair look?
So obviously with styling, you can't beat a good old Velcro roller. It's just the one. Being from Essex, I love a Velcro roller. Bigger the better. I just think they're the best. I
That's so
think what I
good.
love about them is, you know, if you can either go heated or Velcro, but with Velcro, it's not really any damage to the hair. You can whack
Yeah,
them
it's
in,
seamless.
let them set, pull them out, and you got your volume. I love the heated rollers as well because they're just easy.
Mm.
You whack them in, clip them in, leave them to cool down, and it's done. I mean,
And they're faster.
they're your best ways, but obviously that's going to give you a very big, over the top, glamorous look, which
Mm.
doesn't work for everyone. The other options, to be honest, I quite like undone hair as well, where you kind of just blast it and just flip it around. I quite like flipping partings over because
Yeah,
that's obviously, you know, you're going the opposite way, so it's going to kind of come back and give you some more volume. What
yeah.
were them brilliant tools that you had earlier, though, that you were showing me?
These are like I got these from Primark.
They're brilliant because people that don't necessarily want that big glam overdone hair, they're great because you can
Yeah,
kind of leave that when your hair's, you know, maybe 80% dry, roll up the ends, twist it, and you're going to get more of a beachy look. And you can still twist that high to get that volume in that root area.
yeah, yeah.
So I
It
think
just
they're
gives
great.
the hair, they just give the hair a bit of grit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because if your hair is shedding or it's fine or whatever, everything slips through it and it just feels like it gives your hair some grit. So, what styling products would you use
So
then just to keep them not from falling flat and sort of keeping the volume in place?
So styling products, I always use this product. This I look at as like a primer. Is that the right word
Right.
when you do your skin and your
Yeah,
makeup? You put your
yeah, yeah,
primer.
exactly. Yeah.
Pli from L'Oreal. It is the best.
What's it called?
Pli,
Say it again.
PLI. You know PLI?
Yeah, no, I don't know this. This is like, and I obviously think I know everything.
So that's like it's like old school, like no, it's been around forever. And Pli is
Really?
basically yeah, it's like a heat protector. It's like it kind of just does a bit of everything. But I love this product because it's a product that you can kind of build up. When I've, you know, say when the hair's washed, I'll spray it with Pli. Then I'll start to dry it a bit, spray a bit more Pli. And I kind of like to keep building and building and building it up. So it's kind of, and you know, when you've got finer hair, it's going to pat it out and give it texture so that when anything else you do afterwards, it's going to hold better. It's almost making it a little bit, yeah, so it's like a spray. It smells phenomenal. I'm surprised you've never seen it.
No. But if it smells anything like Elnet, then I will absolutely love it because
Oh,
I
it's even
I
better than
love
Elnet.
Elnet.
Even better than Elnet.
Really?
Yeah, it's great as well for like a refresher. So say like you've blow dried your hair yesterday, but you need to redo a
Yeah.
little bit. You can just spritz that on again and it kind of, it's heat activated. It's a great product.
Yeah.
Then you've got products like Raise the Root from Color Wow, which are incredible.
Is that good? I mean, I like
Honestly,
the name.
it really does raise the root. Obviously, you've got to put your heat in it though. That's the thing. You can't just, you
Right.
know, whack it in and expect it to stand up. You need to direct hair
Yeah.
into place.
It's
But
heat
that really does
activated.
work. Yeah, definitely. That really does
So
work.
that would be good. That would be good with then heated rollers, yeah?
Yeah. Your heated rollers or your, you know, your even if you put your Velcros and put a bit, do you know what I mean? You set
Put
it.
a bit of
That would be
heat.
great.
Got it.
Yeah. Another product I
Okay.
think is amazing, which is more of a finishing product, is the Living Proof Dry Volume and Texture Spray.
Oh my god.
It's next
I
level.
haven't tried this one.
So
Is
I
it a
love
bit
it.
like the Orbe one?
I've never tried the Orbe one, but is
Well,
that a
it's not. It's
texturizing?
Yeah, it's the very first, or one that the most famous, like dry texturizing spray, but it's like 48 quid.
Yeah, but
Quite a lot.
I do like them because what I like doing is you style the hair, and then I like coming from underneath, and you kind of start to build the volume out without being too like on top.
So you would what, like you start under what and then start spraying underneath and then go work your way up.
Yeah, because to kind of like lift it from everywhere, because it kind of like pads it
Got it.
out a bit.
Okay. So don't just, yeah, I got it right. So don't just lift like here and do it what, but lift in a direction maybe that it wouldn't usually go in, and then go over that way and go, just
Yeah, just
zhuzh
really
it up
get
a
it
bit.
in and zhuzh it out. If you like that sexy bed head undone hair, I
Yeah.
really like that product.
Good. Okay. Well, there's some great recommendations there. Thank you. So you've got your care and styling and all that kind of stuff. And
Yeah,
then if you really want to go for it, if either you've just had enough and you just want more hair, you just want to cheat some fuller hair, whether, just as a sort of one-off treat or continuously, and it's not about necessarily longer hair, it's about having more hair,
yeah,
thicker hair, filling out your hair a bit more. You do this incredible service called hair filler, and it's particularly for women, although I'm sure you do it for men as well, who have lost the volume in their hair for whatever reason. And as we said earlier, it could be for a myriad of reasons. So
yeah.
what is hair filler exactly?
So
What
hair
do you
fillers,
do?
I find a lot of women were coming in having these blow dries, but a lot of people didn't have a lot going on kind of here. It was all around the front. There wasn't a lot going on. So it was kind of, like we say, it's literally filling in the gaps.
And that's what was so interesting, isn't it? Because when you lose, first of all, when we're styling our hair, mostly we at home ourselves, we just tend to focus on this area more than anything else, because that's what we see. So that's often where it gets damaged the most. If you are thinning around the hairline and around like this, the female hair loss, this is where it goes. And what it does, it can, when you lose that fullness around your face of your hair, not extensions, because you're not extending the hair, filling out.
So normally when, we see the client for the first time, I always say like, show me a picture of when you actually loved your hair. And most people will show you a picture and it is always these front bits. Don't get me wrong, there are people that have it all over, but it is mainly the front. And then from that, I look at the clients, what their hair's like. Because we can put hair in, but we have to match the hair, which is why we cut them really, really, really fine. And that fineness allows it to blend with their hair. Also, which stops damage because we're not putting anything in too heavy. And we use the traditional hair extension method of keratin bonds because we can customize it. And I find they're the lightest method for the hair.
Yeah. It's where the volume has gone, right? Like a doctor that does filler will ask to see a picture of you when you were perhaps 10 years younger, so they can replace the volume that's been lost, not so that they can put volume somewhere where it's never been. And it's the same with hair. You just fill out. It's almost like just colouring in, isn't
Yeah.
it? The sort of the sides. And it just makes such a difference to so many women. I see women after they've had it done, and their confidence just goes, through the roof. They hold themselves a bit higher, a bit taller, and they feel different about yourself when you look in the mirror.
I mean, the amount of women that have come in and afterwards cried is mad. I remember recently Millie, in my salon, I trained her up and she's now on the floor doing extensions. And she had a client who cried the other week and she was like, oh my God, the woman's crying. And I was like, because you've changed, like you've made her feel good about herself. And it's not just with the fillers, it's not just about adding the hair in it. Like you said, it really can change how someone feels. It can make the hair look, it can make the hair look healthier.
It's a massive mood booster, your fillers. I absolutely recommend them, and not just because I helped Hadley come up with the concept of them a million years ago. And he's obviously brilliant, and there are women of all ages in Hadley's clinic having these fillers done. That some of them, as I say, have just had babies or they've been stressed out and they're young. Others are sort of like my age or even older. And, there's a way that you can put back what you've lost. And I think, and in a very natural way.
Another big thing that we get with a lot of women when they come for their refit of their fillers is, and it's always the same thing. It's never someone goes, have you had extensions? It's always, have you had a good haircut? Because your hair looks really good. And that goes to show no one ever realizes what you've done, but they know something's been done.
Yeah. They do. They know your hair looks different, but they can't work out what
Yeah,
it is.
what it is.
It's like when you get really good work done, like really good Botox, no one looks at you and says, oh my God, your Botox looks amazing. They say, oh, you look really fresh and well.
Yeah,
And that's what we all want, right?
definitely.
Thank you, Hadley. Oh
Thank
my God,
you.
that was an absolute goldmine of information. I'm going to put everything in the comments below. And if you've got any questions to ask Hadley, then please pop them in, because I'm going to see him in a couple of weeks so I can ask him them in the salon and then report back. Thank you, love, and I'll see you in 2 weeks.